The 2023 Car and Bike Car of the Year, Toyota Innova HyCross, a car that sets new benchmarks and comes across as a comfortable mover for your entire family. Cut to the Tata Safari, a car that aims and claims to do everything the Innova HyCross can do at a much lesser cost. So today in this video, we're going to test that claim just for you. These are two cars that are vying for your attention with 3 rows of seats, loads of features and solid road presence. Yes, they are different too. While the Innova HyCross runs on a petrol engine and a strong hybrid powertrain, the Safari still continues to be a diesel-only offering. There's also a considerable price difference between the two, well, at least between these top variants of both, but the purpose for which they've been built is largely the same. While the HyCross is longer and also gets a longer wheelbase, the Safari is wider of the two. Both are pretty much similar when it comes to height. You get 18-inch alloys on both these cars, but the charcoal grey ones on the Tata look more attractive and gel well with the shape of the car more. The HyCross is a big departure from what the Innova was in its previous generation and now looks better designed. It looks less of an MPV and more of a crossover, and similarity to the Hilux, especially on the face, is quite evident. Square wheel arches and rear spoiler make the car look more butch than it ever was. The Safari in this dark theme looks menacing and the red highlights add their bit. Both cars get LED treatment all over, but if it's a pure SUV stance you're looking for, you'll be able to flaunt the Tata more. This red dark edition is the most modern iteration of the Safari through all these years and even decades, and this one really stands out. It feels that it belongs to today, and the color theme especially stands out with these red seats and the largely black dash on the car. There's a lot of use of piano black as well on the dash, but if you like the color black and if you choose to buy the dark edition, you will like that on the car. Feature wise also, this top variant scores well, so you get ventilated front seats and both these seats can be adjusted electrically, which is a good thing. You also get memory settings here. That's the case on the HyCross as well, but here you get an additional setting, so that's an added advantage. The highlight on this new Tata Safari is this bigger 10.25-inch touchscreen. It's compatible with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless, and it is really nice to use and feel. It is very responsive and it's very clear as well, even in bright sunshine. The camera quality also is really nice and it gives you options of 3D as well as 2D views, which also works to your favor. The full digital cluster also is a good addition to the car. You can customize it in many ways and also gives you a lot of valuable information. So overall, the experience of sitting on the front row of the Tata Safari, especially in this red dark edition, is really up there. On the Innova HyCross 2, you get a full digital cluster that is loaded with information. The touchscreen system though isn't very seamless and there's a definite scope for improvement in the rear view camera feed. The dark brown cabin makes the cabin look premium and the gear lever mounted on the dash leaves extra space between the seats. Overall, the first row feels quite ergonomic, but it's only the driver's seat that can be adjusted electrically. Now to the all-important second row, and both the trims we have here come with captain seats. A big highlight on the Safari is that even on the second row, you get ventilated seats, something not seen on the HyCross. There's also the Boss mode, which makes life easier for the second row occupant, though the placement of AC vents on the B-pillar isn't ideal. The Innova HyCross, most of you who will buy the car will buy it to spend a lot of your time here on the second row. So this becomes really crucial, and the first thing that strikes you here is the amount of space that is on offer. So the front seat is suited, adjusted to my driving position, and this is the amount of knee room I'm getting here. This is fantastic. Same is the story with my shoulder room, especially on this captain seat version, and the headroom as well. It's great. Another good factor is the fact that I can slide forward my seats or take them back, and it's a long range. So look at this, how far back it goes or how far on the front it goes. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how much space you want in all the 3 rows of the car. That's not all. The seats are big enough to give me good thigh support, under thigh support. But more than that, you also get additional support at press of a button, which is what I'm doing right now, getting more space for me. So pressing a few buttons actually converts my seat into a lounge. Here goes. So on a highway, when I'm driving for long distances or being driven for long distances, I can actually convert this into a lounge and spend a lot of time in a relaxing position on this car, which is fantastic once again. Let me show you some more features. You have a foldable cup holder here, which is a great addition to the car. You have curtains on the window on both sides, and you get AC vents crucially on the roof, which I think is more effective, especially in this really hot weather. You also get a separate climate control switch here on the second row, so you can activate climate control for the rear rows through this button. And you also have charging ports here, C-type, both of them. On the third row, that is not really the case. Though charging options are limited, access to the third row is a little easier on the HyCross. It is quite good on space and you can spend good time here without too much difficulty. The third row of the Tata Safari probably not as spacious as the Innova HyCross, especially when it comes to knee room, but what I like is the fact that I have good headroom here, and the seats also are decently sized, which is not bad looking at my height. Now ergonomically it feels like a better place when compared to the HyCross. So I have my individual fan controls here. I like the placement of the AC vents here on the third row, and also I have some good storage spaces as well as Type C and Type A charging ports exclusively for the third row, which is a good thing. With all three rows up, it is the HyCross that offers more luggage space than Safari. Now it's time to drive both these cars, and we begin with the more expensive offering of the two. The Innova HyCross comes in two versions, petrol and strong hybrid, and both come with just an automatic gearbox, so there's no manual here in case you're looking for it. Driving the strong hybrid, there's enough power and torque on offer, and I didn't feel any sluggishness in the response of this drivetrain. The first thing you notice when you start driving the Innova HyCross is just how clear the view of the road is in front of you. The A-pillars are really thin here and they just do not obstruct your view, giving you a very clear sight of the road ahead. And not just the road ahead, even the road behind you, you get a very clear view through your rear view mirrors. The mirror is quite big, the windshield on the rear is also quite big, so you get a clear view of the road both on the front as well as on the rear. Another thing that is right up there on the HyCross are its refinement levels. The engine is very silent and so is the cabin. The NVH levels are so much in control and that really adds to the whole experience. And not to forget, this is of course a strong hybrid, which means many times the car runs purely on batteries, which again guarantees a silent and an eco-friendly drive. The claimed fuel efficiency on this strong hybrid is 23.24 kilometers per litre, which is fantastic looking at the segment the car comes in. So if this is an important area for you, look not beyond this MPV. But if you're in the mood to burn some extra fuel and have a little more fun on the HyCross, you can do that too. The switch to the power mode, which is one of the 3 drive modes on the car. And yes, you can also push your gear lever to the right and use the sport mode. Yeah, much better. Definitely more fun. The Safari in its automatic guise promises 16.14 kilometers per litre, which also is quite healthy looking at this 2-litre diesel mill borrowed from the Harrier. The power may not be as much as the HyCross, but being a diesel, there's ample torque on offer, which guarantees good pulling power. This 2-litre diesel engine has proven itself on many cars over the years, and this includes cars beyond Tata Motors as well. It's a good powerful engine where the power delivery is quite refined, so you don't really have too much to complain about in the way this engine performs, and it works even better with this 6-speed torque converter automatic. So my word is that if you're looking to buy the Safari, you should consider buying the automatic more than the manual. It just makes the experience so much more better with this engine and gearbox combination. There are 2 things you'll have to get used to on the Safari, especially after driving something like the Innova HyCross. First is, of course, this is a diesel engine, so the NVH levels are not so much in control, so you get much more noise inside the cabin when compared to the HyCross. And next is the steering wheel. Especially if you're going to use this car a lot in the chaos of the city, you'll have to flex some muscles because this is not as light as the one we saw on the Innova HyCross. Innova HyCross feels like a much easier car to drive. During the Car and Bike Awards jury round earlier this year, one quality of the Innova HyCross that really impressed all the jury members is its really comfortable ride quality. The Innova has been known to give you a really comfortable ride even in its earlier generation, and that is continued with the HyCross. In fact, it has only gotten better. So it doesn't matter where you're sitting on the car, the first row, the second row or the third row, you guaranteed a supremely comfortable drive on this car. Now this is a long car, the Innova HyCross, but it is very easy to maneuver it, largely due to its really light steering wheel. So you're looking for quick lane changes, or you have to squeeze this into smaller, tighter parking spaces. It is very easy with this steering wheel. When it comes to performance and handling, the Safari too has some impressive traits. Despite its stance, the car delivers good dynamics. Now Safari is a tall car, it is quite a big SUV, but two things have really surprised me here. First is the handling of the vehicle. The body roll is not so much as you'd expect, and you can throw this around corners at decent speeds with some good confidence, and that is a big plus on the SUV for me. The famed Land Rover DNA is clearly at play here, and kudos to Tata for making the car so capable when it comes to handling. Now between these two cars, it is the Safari that comes across as more apt in handling varied road conditions. So when the road turns from good to bad, the Safari adjusts itself very nicely and keeps giving you a rather comfortable experience. It's got different drive modes. One of them is the rough road mode, which comes into play when you're dealing with more difficult road situations. With this latest update, the Safari also gets some ADAS features which make your life easier both on the city as well as on the highway. Easier and safer, of course. These include forward collision warning, autonomous emergency braking, traffic sign recognition, high beam assist, lane departure warning, blind spot detection, lane change alert and rear cross traffic alert. Apart from this, you also get 6 airbags, electronic parking brake with auto hold function and ISOFIX child seat mounts. The list of safety features including ADAS is pretty much the same even on the Innova HyCross. Now to the prices. While the HyCross petrol range starts at 18.55 lakh rupees, the strong hybrid version starts at 25.03 lakh rupees and goes all the way up to 29.99 lakh rupees ex-showroom for the top ZX optional trim. The Safari range starts at 15.65 lakh rupees for the base manual and tops at 25 lakh 1000 rupees ex-showroom for this automatic Red Dark XZ Plus A. If these cars were similarly priced, the Innova HyCross would have been a clear winner, but the price difference of 5 lakh rupees between these two top trims has made the battle closer than we thought. Both these cars have their advantages. For HyCross, it is space, practicality and ride comfort, while the Safari is more tech-laden, feature-rich and feels more modern. If you're okay with the long waiting period, it is the Toyota that is still that workhorse which is more suited to the needs of an entire family. And while the Safari may not be ideal for everyone in the family, it does make a statement and makes you stand out in a crowd. So do let us know in the comments below, which of these two cars will you go for? Will you save 5 lakh rupees and choose the Safari, or spend those extra 5 lakh rupees and go for the Innova HyCross? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, do share it and subscribe to Car and Bike.